Hello, it is Saturday, March 12th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Saturday, of course, so a difficult, themeless puzzle today may well be what we have in store. That's, I suppose, what's scheduled for today. This edition of the Daily Solve was brought to you by B.W. Diedrich, Stephanie Fredericks, and as always, the inestimable Hood Monster. So thank you so much to the three of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. If you'd like to join their ranks, you can do so and get the Let's Check the Crosses Daily Solve mug, as well as that recognition at patreon.com/dailysolve. But if you become a patron at any level, you also get all of the Daily Solve bonus video solves that have gone up on the channel, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And you get access to an extra channel in the Daily Solve Discord chat server. And there are things going on in both of those places. Several videos going up to the Patreon. Today, possibly by the time you see this, the most recent Boss Words puzzle solve will be up. That's the weekly themeless puzzle competition in which I'm participating. And a new Constructor's Corner compilation of community-created crosswords will go up later today at some point. And speaking of that, in the Daily Solve Discord chat server, in the free part, which is most of it that anyone can join, I've made a new channel, which so there, constructors from the Constructor's Corner channel can drop their completed puzzles that they feel have been tested and refined enough to be solvable by the public. So I'll be using that new Constructor's Corner Complete channel to draw from for those Constructor's Corner videos going forward. And also, if you are interested in solving puzzles by members of the Daily Solve community, you can find them in the Constructor's Corner channel if you're interested in giving feedback to those constructors, or the Constructor's Corner Complete when they feel they are ready for broader consumption. So anyway, all of that's going on. Links to all these things in the description field underneath the video. And now, let's not delay it any longer. Let's solve today's puzzle. So, as I said, of course, this is a Saturday puzzle constructed by Nathan Last, who's done a few dozen New York Times crosswords, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shortz. So let's get started. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. Yesterday I failed my first video Wordle solve. So if you're one of the people who failed Wordle yesterday, of whom there seem to be very many more than usual, you're in good company. And anyway, you can watch that on the channel if you're interested. So let's get started. Okay. Paid off. Paid off. Keep thinking repaid, which is obviously not the case because we won't repeat a part of a word like that. Pinky swear, e.g. A pact, I suppose, a pinky swear is. You and your fellow swearer will promise to do something. On equal footing in Latin, and mirrored. Aped, maybe? You mirrored someone, you aped them? Tea in Mandarin. Oh, cha, I think. Result of a poor audio connection, perhaps. Not sure. What about this? Creature also known as a green fly. Is it an aphid? Building that on aped and cha. Hopefully those are correct. What about this? Exponential blank. Function in physics. Not sure about that. And what about this? Palmed, say. It could be hid. If you palmed an object, you could quickly hide it using sleight of hand. Juice boxes. Juice boxes with a question mark. So some kind of pun or wordplay. Could mean a battery, perhaps, if you refer to juice as power. Phone. Not sure. What about this? Pick. Could be opt. On equal footing in Latin. Could be par something. Not sure. What about this? Substitute for coffee. Cha. Oh, I'm not sure. This doesn't look great. I might remove this. Any of these could be wrong. Aphid could be incorrect. I'm not certain about that. What about this? Prefix with consciousness. Subconsciousness? Or non-consciousness? What is this? So if this were sub, Result of a poor audio connection, perhaps. And rumpus. Could be an ado or a din. Prefix with consciousness. Pre-consciousness. Last word of the first sentence of Kafka's Metamorphosis. This is sort of a strange clue in that the Metamorphosis was obviously written in German, so the last word of the first sentence will depend on the particular translation. This is the book in which Gregor Samsa is transformed into some kind of insect or beetle, depending on how it's translated, cockroach sometimes. So I wonder if that's what the word is. Insect and beetle would each fit. I suspect insect would be a more common translation than beetle, which is more specific. That's quite a limb on which I'm going out, but let's just see. Put up. Could be erect, as in a building or a monument. Like many street-level apartments. Noisy. And, okay, actually I think insect is going to work. Parts of baseballs and mines. Seams. Baseballs have those distinctive curved seams. As do all balls, I suppose, in some way. Move from side to side as a ship. Yaw. And a lumbering tool. Some kind of saw, obviously. A band saw, maybe? For cutting lumber. Paid off. Pause in the middle of a line of poetry. Oh, what is that? And what is this? Substitute for coffee. Non-something? Non-something tea? Part of the body first successfully transplanted in 1905. A cornea, maybe? I'm predisposed to thinking this might be an O because of my non-guess, so that's what put me on cornea. Baptisms by fire ordeals. Oh, interesting. Is this not erect? I'm actually quite surprised by that. Put up. Could be put up as in shelter somebody, which occurred to me because it looks like the first 5 letters of shelter. Turn in could be redeem, as in a token or a voucher. Paid off. Pause in the middle of a line of poetry. Substitute for coffee. Non-dairy. Oh, a substitute, not something for which, not something that substitutes coffee itself, but a substitute that could be used in coffee, perhaps. A non-dairy creamer. There we go. Now this looks sort of strange, though, doesn't it? Musician who helped save Carnegie Hall from demolition. Isaac. I think I actually know this, but I can't bring it to mind. Put up. Muffs. Errors makes an error. Against the Day, Thomas Pynchon novel. Paid off. Is this Caesara? I think that's right. Pause in the middle of a line of poetry. That sort of sounds right to me. Put up. So what is this? Oh, Caesura, perhaps. Built. Put up, built. Okay. And paid off is bribed. All right, that was very straightforward. I don't know why that took me so long. What about this? Juice boxes on equal footing. Result of a poor audio connection. Time lag? Not really familiar with that as a phrase. Conscious. Oh, could be eco-consciousness, perhaps. Rumpus could be a row. There could be a rumpus. There could be a row going on. Exponential blank. Function in physics. Exponential. I don't know. Don't look up star in tabloids. Who was in that film? Leonardo DiCaprio. Kate Blanchett. Meryl Streep. I don't know any nicknames for any of those people that would fit here. Not even just with the W, but in 4 letters at all, except for Kate, I suppose. Although I don't know why that would have to be tabloids in particular. Strange. Oh, Jennifer Lawrence was also in that film, J-Law. It must be. I didn't even know she had one of those J-Lo style names, but I bet she does. J-Law. Result of a poor audio connection, perhaps. Maybe it is time lag. We/jazz blank. Line in Gwendolyn Brooks, We Real Cool. Oh, I'm not sure. 2000 Cisco hit with a rhyming title. Thong Song. And why do I not remember the name of this? Isaac. That's very frustrating. What about this? Record holder for the most MLB All-Star selections. I don't know. Hank Aaron? That's a baseball player I've heard of. And it fits in the crosses. Incredible. Okay, maybe that's right. I don't know. What do you want me to do about it? Yeah, I think it might be. And what do you want me to do about it? And dance to the music of Carlos Acuna, say. Tangoed, I would think. And pick, it could be tap, so I had opt there before. And juice boxes. Oh, chargers. It was related to phones and batteries. What do you know? Country with 2 official languages. Guarani and Spanish. Is it Paraguay? Paraguay? Exponential decay, function in physics. That makes sense. It must be related to what? Half-life of... No? I don't know. Maybe it is related to the half-life of an atom. We jazz... I don't know. I don't know what this is. Sorry. Went round and round in circles. And 1924 tale of daring do. Not sure there either. New Jersey's unofficial rock theme of our state's youth. Is this Bruce Springsteen thing? He's from New Jersey, isn't he? I'm actually not very familiar with Bruce Springsteen's music. Minions. Lackeys? No, that doesn't fit. Feels like that should be pretty gettable with that K, assuming that's correct. Astronaut Jemison. Oh, Mae Jemison? I know this, but I can't, once again, can't bring it to mind. Where to pick sides? Maybe I should delete this just in case. Hollywood with the nitwit to a Brit. This will be really obvious when I see it. It's annoying. Vegan sandwich for short. I don't know. A vegan sandwich, a cheese... No, cheese isn't vegan. No. What's a vegan sandwich? I don't know. There are probably several. Basic technique in skateboarding, an ollie. That came up in a crossword I solved yesterday for the Patreon. I can't remember which one it was. Minds could be tens, as in you mind somebody, you tend to them. Something picked up by a silent butler. I don't know. This might be wrong. A silent butler. I don't know. A tab? They pick up your tab at a restaurant? I'm not sure what a silent butler is. Exams for British 18-year-olds. A-levels or O-levels. Didn't cause trouble. Something'd. Be plucky. Strum, pluck a guitar. I'm running out of steam, aren't I? What is this? Mount with facility. Mount with facility. Leap on? In other words, if you mount something, you sort of, as in a horse, and you do it well. Europe's oldest capital. Interesting. work on a block. So this is indeed, this does, oh, I didn't look at this down clue yet. Jewelry store tools. What was this again? Sorry. They might work on a block. They might work on a block. And this is it might work on a block. Oh, that's funny. On a block. Boy, that could be so many different things. And here we have golly. Jeepers Creepers, I'm guessing, based on the fill? Yeah, that fits. Great. Okay, that's good to get a nice long answer like that. Occupation of Leo Bloom in The Producers, for short. Is he an accountant, a CPA? Europe's oldest capital and... Oh, Athens, of course. That probably would have been obvious, so I thought about it for a moment. But I didn't. They might work on a block. And handful, say. Oh, a brat. Could be a real handful. To mind, to tend. This does look like tens, doesn't it? Minds, tens. It looks like that. Be plucky. And what is this? Didn't cause trouble. Behaved. Ah, if you were being tended and you didn't act like a brat and you behaved. Enforcement mechanisms, metaphorically teeth. If a law has teeth, it has enforcement mechanisms. That might work on a block. Ah, you could patrol a block as sort of a beat cop, I suppose. Went round and round in circles. Be plucky. What is that? Don't know. Strange. Jewelry store tools. And what is this one? Have I looked at this? Oh, yes, I have. And here we have popular dishes in Quebecois cuisine, poutines. There we go. Maybe I was right about this. Where to pick sides? Oh, menu. Okay, I was right. Mae Jemison. That's what I thought. Okay. And where to pick sides would be a menu, side dishes, for instance. Floor... Stun. You could floor somebody. You could stun them. And of course, my brain initially tried to think of a noun synonym here, but no, in this case, it is a verb. So always keep that in mind. That's what you get on a Saturday, really. You get a lot of short clues that are ambiguous because they could be different parts of speech. If something is overly rehearsed, it is pat. It sort of doesn't have much life left. It might work on a block. Oh, Drano. So a blocked... pipe work in your home, in your, I don't know, bathroom sink, something like that. And so that contrasts with they might work on a block, meaning a neighborhood block, a city block, a street block. So again, need to keep yourself thinking of different senses of words. Attire at some academies. Blazers, perhaps? And Hollywood with these. The Biz? It's always slightly pretentious when any business calls itself The Biz, because of course they're all The Biz. Vegan sandwich for short. Oh, peanut butter and jelly, PBJ. I've never really liked peanut butter, so it wasn't in my brain. Nitwit a prat is a nitwit. And is that particular to British English? I suppose so, to some extent. Mentally worn out. Could be fried. Sometimes I feel that way after solving a Saturday crossword. Minions could be flunkies. Actually, you know when I really feel fried? It's when I solve a puzzle called The Listener, which I've been tackling recently, which is it's a cryptic crossword here in the UK, and it is unbelievably difficult. I'm thinking of doing a video about a video showing a solve of The Listener, but it's one I already solved because there would be no way I could solve one in a reasonable amount of time on video. I mean, it took me 3 hours or something to solve that one. So, but it's so incredibly fascinating and well constructed that I sort of want to share it. So I might find a way to do that. Anyway, what is this? Spell. So it could be spell as in a magical spell. It could be spell meaning a sort of run of something or a period of time, sit for a spell. It could be spell as in spelling a word, although I doubt it. Oh, Isaac Stern, musician who helped save Carnegie Hall from demolition. I'm certain this is correct. Well, I shouldn't say I'm certain because it probably won't be now that I've said that, but I think it's correct. Born to Run must be Yeah, I recognize that. Born to Run. And then spell could be about, yes. So you could have a bout of flu or something. Spell, I wouldn't necessarily say spell in that way, but that's the sense of it. Maybe not. 1924 Tale of Daring Do. Oh, Beau Geste. I don't know this book or film, but I do know the phrase beau geste, meaning a grand gesture in French. So Tale of Daring Do. And then let's look at the crosses here. So we have pari passu, on equal footing in Latin, all right. And, oh, sorry, we haven't finished these off yet, have we? Got, so we can type these in without fear. We Jazz June, line in Gwendolyn Brooks' We Real Cool. Okay, I hope that's correct. It did create a word, so that's reassuring. Got nowhere, went round and round in circles, got nowhere. Okay, that's what I was doing with this clue until just now. Be plucky. What? Sorry if this is very, very obvious. Tweeze? I must have gotten tens wrong. That must have been throwing me off here. That's a shame. So to be plucky, tweeze, I don't know, eyebrows, for instance. And then what is this? Minds. Oh, heeds, as in mind your manners, heed your manners, that sort of thing. Jewelry store tools. Could be sizers. And something picked up by a silent butler. Ash? What? What does that mean? I mean, this is going to be A levels or O levels. One of those is actually just defunct, but just for the purpose of this. Something picked up by a silent butler. Ash? It is. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Is that like one of those robot vacuum cleaners? They would pick up ash? Is that a silent butler? I have no idea. I'm sorry. No idea what that is. But anyway, got there. So there's the Saturday puzzle. That was a good one. So that was, I think, very much, and look at this. It's sort of the whole thing is in this winding sort of pattern, kind of. Yeah, it's a nice looking grid. It's a very nice looking grid, even though I don't, it's not thematic because it's a Saturday puzzle, so it's expressly a themeless puzzle, but it is just a very nice, pretty grid. Lots of open space. And some really good fill. I thought that was non-dairy creamer, Jeepers Creepers, some good grid spanning answers. And I think very much in the spirit of a Saturday puzzle, in the way that yesterday was in the spirit of a Friday puzzle, but a little more tricky. I think it was just maybe just a little trickier than yesterday's. But still never at a point where I was completely flummoxed. I was still able to move forward pretty consistently. Is there anything that really particularly gave me trouble? I really enjoyed puzzling through how to arrive at insect for the metamorphosis, despite certainly not remembering the actual text of the first sentence of Kafka's The Metamorphosis, and also knowing that it could have been one of several words in translation. So had to sort of infer it will probably be the most important word in the Metamorphosis, the thing that describes the thing that speaks to the premise of the story. Otherwise, how would the constructor expect anyone to know the word? And then also, bearing in mind it was a translation, so what would the most likely or common version of that word be? That was sort of a fun little puzzle to solve inside the puzzle. Anything else particularly difficult? No, I think it was just generally challenging, but not utterly baffling. It did take me a while to land on Isaac Stern. And I learned pari passu. I think I've seen that before, but as you know, if you watch these videos, I very frequently don't. I'm not able to jump straight to the Latin answers. Speaking of difficult crosswords, in the Times, what's in the U.S. called the Times of London to distinguish it from other newspapers that use the phrase Times, but it's just the Times. has a, this is unbelievable, but has a Latin crossword. It's called O Tempora, and all of the fill in the puzzle is Latin, and the clues are about half and half English and Latin. Some of them are combinations. Some of them will have English and Latin elements, but all of the fill is Latin. And I just for fun, I poked at it occasionally, but I don't. I never learned Latin in school, so there's no chance of me ever completing an edition of O Tempora. But I was pleased to be able to get things like caveat emptor and that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm not really talking about anything anymore, so let's move on. Let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. And actually, not just yesterday's puzzle, but even the day before's puzzle. And here we have a follow-up from Joseph George Blaze to vindicate me. A correction to the correction regarding the noise/no ice debate. Now, this was the clue dealing with this was the clue that was neat, and the answer was Noice, which at the time I interpreted as noise, a sort of dialectical pronunciation of nice. And then I was corrected by several people who I think extremely reasonably said, I don't think that's noise, I think that's no ice, meaning a drink served neat. However, Joseph George Blaze points out, the New York Times wordplay column itself favors the noise interpretation. I quote, some solvers have brought up a good point. The clue neat, in quotation marks, importantly, may be interpreted as a synonym for a drink without ice. However, when a clue is in quotes, it is asking for another verbalization that means the same thing. So for those of you who like your beverages sans cooling cubes, you do you, but the answer is meant to be one word, noise. And then back to Joseph George Blaze. Chris, you may officially retract your embarrassments, should you so desire. As I say on the Discord, I enjoy that the clue works both ways, but with the quotation marks, noise, one word, is a completely valid reading. That is true. I suppose if I were to further argue against myself, you could imagine that neat, in quotation marks, is, in this fictional scenario, something that you are saying to the bartender at a bar. You're saying neat, meaning no ice. I think they're both pretty plausible, but I'm pleased that the official New York Times line backs up my slightly sillier interpretation. All right, so on to yesterday's puzzle. Bradley explains that the Pabst Brewing Company is owned by Blue Ribbon Intermediate Holdings, LLC, which is a partnership between beer entrepreneur Eugene Casper and the private equity firm TSG Consumer Partners. So they're not owned by one of the 5 mega companies that own most of the world's beer production, but they're still owned by a billionaire investment group. Also, on the alcohol track, the grapefruit and vodka cocktail is known as a Greyhound, and if served with salted rim, it's known as a salty dog. James Dickey explains, you seemed a little baffled by biathlon consisting of skiing and shooting. Cross-country skiing, also called Nordic skiing, is the type of skiing involved and has its roots in Nordic military skiing. Picture Finnish partisans skiing through the forest and periodically shouldering their rifle to shoot at Russian invaders. It's quite difficult in that Nordic skiing is intensely aerobic, and the difficulty of accurately shooting a rifle is greatly exacerbated by heavy breathing and a pounding heart. Interesting, yes. I've done cross-country skiing on a few occasions. It is really... it is quite aerobic. It is very different to downhill skiing. But it's nice. It's very scenic. Well, it can be anyway, I guess, depending on the scenery. Caleb Alberton explains that Kellogg Business School at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, is one of the top MBA, Masters of Business Administration programs in the States. So thank you. And Caleb Alberton also explains that the Fuji of the Atari logo refers to Mount Fuji. After a brief internet search, it doesn't appear to be designed after the look of the mountain. It was chosen from several options representing the letter A. But it does have a sort of tapered, mountainous sort of shape, so I suppose that's why they call it the Fuji. So thank you for that as well. And finally, Retboy1 explains FICA, F-I-C-A, is the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, the federal payroll tax that goes towards Social Security and Medicare. Yes, I was trying to think federal insurance something, and I was, here, Kathleen Quinn responds, the entity responsible for maintaining the stability and public confidence in the nation's financial system by ensuring bank deposits is the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, an independent agency created by Congress. So indeed, I was conflating, I think, actually three different organizations. FICA, the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and I think also FICO, the Fair Isaac Corporation, which is the corporation that deals with credit scores. So I think I had all three of those acronyms in my head, and I was conflating and confusing all of them. And anyway, the FICA was the one in question. So there we have it. I think that's all I have. There might have been more, but that was a big selection of comments. So let's leave it there for now. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this solve. If you're a Patreon backer, well, first of all, thank you. But there's quite a lot going up for you this weekend. So do enjoy that. I hope you do. And if you have any requests as a Patreon backer for other things you'd like to see me solve, just let me know. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday puzzle. Should be maybe a little bit gentler than this one, but longer. It will certainly be a longer solve and a longer video. So be prepared for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.